Welcome to the Master Passive Income Show. My name is Dustin Heiner, and I'm here to help you learn how to get financial independence, live the dream life, and quit that just over broke job, that job, by investing in real estate so you never ever have to work a job again. Today, I am super pumped to share with you what the rich in this world already know and what they teach their children and how they remain rich, wealthy, and never working for somebody else, being successful and employed. And I'm going to share with you what they know and do so that you can do the same. All right, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast, where we talk about investing in real estate with a special focus on making enough money so you can quit your job and live the dream life. And now, here is your host, Dustin Heiner.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Super pumped to have you here on the show with me. Now, I absolutely love that I've been able and blessed to have this podcast for a while now. In fact, I started this podcast back, I think it was 2016 or 2017-ish. And I remember starting that just as a way to help people out. Just like, let me just share this out to the world, how to invest in real estate. Because, man, it's so much better when people invest in real estate. It's so much better when other people own things, when they have the ability to not work for somebody else. And I love actually being a part of that process. And so that's why we have the show. And I actually just had my birthday. So my birthday was just recently happened and getting older. And at the same time, super pumped to actively continue to help you to invest in real estate. But I'm 44 now. You see, I quit my job when I was 37 years old. And I just realized that it was so much better without a job that I thought maybe other people would want this too. In fact, friends and family members would ask me how to do this, and I would teach them. And in teaching them, I realized how much I really enjoyed teaching them and loved seeing them have success. Now, fast forward to my birthday and me having this podcast, I love seeing people have success. So for my birthday, instead of you getting me a gift, which you wouldn't, I don't want you to at all, I want to give you a gift. In fact, me turning 44 this year, it's like, wow, I quit my job when I was 37 years old. Now I'm 44, literally would never have a job again. I want to see you have that exact same experience, being able to quit, hopefully earlier rather than later, and have passive income. In fact, that's what this show today is all about, how to make sure that you're never going to have to work a job again. And to get you in that direction, I'm going to give you a birthday present from me. I'm going to give you a birthday present. So I have my membership where I do group coaching with all my students. We've got hundreds of students in there learning, investing, and helping other students out. We have that membership. We have the coaching. We have all the courses and student community and all that sort of stuff. And for my birthday, I'm going to give you a huge discount. In fact, like, I don't know, 80, 90% off of the price of the joining of the membership. The link will be in the show notes, but if you go to masterpassiveincome.com/birthday, all one word, /birthday, and the promo code is birthday. So very, very simple. You use the promo code birthday. In fact, I'll leave this here no matter when you listen. Let's say you listen to this 5 years from now and we're, episode 1000 or whatever it might be. I'll still have this birthday episode in there. It'll give you the same discount. At least I hope I will. If it doesn't, then hit us up and I'll definitely get you that huge discount. But if you go to Master Passive Income, go into the Wealth Builders membership, and when you sign up, use the promo code birthday. The link and everything will be in the description. And like I said, if you buy one property at $250 a month in passive income, that's $3,000 a year. My goodness, you're going to make so much more money than you would ever spend with me. But that's literally what I love to do, is see my students grow, become successful, buy their first property, then buy their second, third, fourth, and then not even need me anymore, move on and build their own business. Now, with that, you also need to know how to remain wealthy. Now, today's show is not just talking about how to remain wealthy. I'm going to talk to you from beginning to end. If you have no clue how to be wealthy, as well as how to remain wealthy if you ever get wealthy, not like the people that win the lottery. A lot of times you'll hear all these sad stories. You have many, if not 90% of the people that, if not more, win the lottery, they get millions and millions of dollars within 2, 3, 4 years. They're dead broke, don't have any money, and they're back to where they started. We don't want to be that. In fact, I don't want to see that happen to you. So today's episode is to help you to know how to become wealthy, how to remain wealthy, and how to make sure you can pass it down to your children. And one of the points in here is insuring your investments, because I'm a little jumping ahead, but one of the points is insuring your investments. Now, getting insurance is what I'm going to mostly be talking about inside this episode, but also it's ensuring that you have future income as well. I'm kind of jumping ahead, sorry, but I really wanted to share this with you. You want to ensure that you have income perpetually in the future. Now, you'll get insurance on your properties. You'll get insurance on your life. You'll get insurance on your business. We'll get insurance for all that. But we also need to ensure that we're going to be making money every single month over and over and over again without us even working. And that's what we are going to be talking about today, is building our lives so that we are financially independent, so we don't need to work for somebody else. And I want to pause for a quick second and share that honestly, I really want you to invest in real estate. Now, my new goal is to help 1 million people invest in real estate. So 2 things I would ask from you. Number 1, if you get anything out of this episode, please share it with somebody else. Just say, hey, check out Dustin and Master Passive Income. He really wants to help 1 million people to invest in real estate. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to get you to invest in real estate. Get my real estate investing course absolutely for free. Text the word rental, RENTAL, to 33777. Rental to 33777. I'll literally give you my course, show you how to find an area of the country to invest, how to build the business first. I always talk about that, and how to find the right properties, how to make sure you're getting experts to do the work for you, and scale the business to where you're making $250 or more in passive income. Scale it to quit your job. I'll literally get it to you, or go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. Obviously, it'll be in the description, but I really, really want you to invest in real estate, because the more that actual, normal, everyday people own real estate that are good landlords, the better everybody's life gets. Here's the greatest thing about being wealthy. You obviously don't need to worry about your bills anymore. You don't need to worry about any money. You don't need to worry about your time being wasted working for a job. You have complete control over your life. Now, these principles, these steps that I'm going to give you are the things that you're going to need to do and implement into your life so that you can live like the rich. Now, as I said in the intro, a lot of the rich people, like the millionaires, they are not the fancy, flamboyant, showy people. They could be, a person 3 doors down from you that literally has $1 million in the bank that drives an old truck, because he or she doesn't need anything else than just that. So the average millionaire is very, very nonchalant about their money. They're not going to be flashing. They don't care what other people think. They take care of the things because they know these principles, these 8 steps. Now, there's a reason why the majority of the people in the world are poor. It's because they're really not taught to be rich. What's sad is our school system teaches us to be employees, which gives us a job. If you know, I've said many times, job is J-O-B, just over broke. The poor people do not know these principles or these steps that the rich already know and that they teach their kids. I am literally teaching my kids every single one of these steps. So I want you to know these steps so that you can be rich. I want you not just to be rich, but wealthy, so that you can pass these things down, not just the money or the properties, but you can pass down the mindset. It's said, there's a great saying that you don't want to give a person a fish. You want to teach them how to fish so that they can feed themselves for years. And this is what I want to do for you. I want to give you the steps to become wealthy and rich so that you don't have to worry about ever working a job again. With these principles, I have really been able to build a real estate business that is so successful and automatic and creates massive amounts of wealth for me and is passive income. Now, I want to give these to you. Now, let me give you the very, very first one. Above and beyond all of them, this is where you start. Remember, these are 8 steps. You want to build on one after another. The first step is pay yourself first. Now, hopefully you've heard this before, and hopefully you're already implementing this into your life. But the rich know this, that paying yourself first is not, hey, I got a paycheck and that's all my money. Well, it's not your money because you already have either rent that's going to be due or a mortgage, or you have credit card debt, or you have to pay the gas bill for your house. You have to pay for the garbage and the sewer. You have so much money that's already going out of your pocket. Even though the money is going into your pocket, it's flowing right back out and it's going to other people's pocket. So paying yourself first is giving yourself 10% off of the top of your income that goes into your pocket to save for future investing, not to buy fancy things or even some new thing or to buy anything. You're saving it so that you can make money for yourself. Now, let me give you a really practical example. Let's say you make $4,000 a month. Well, scratch that. Not everybody makes $4,000. Let's say you make $2,000 a month. If you make $2,000 a month, more than likely a lot of that money, if you have a job, you're just over broke. And so you barely have enough money to save anything. Well, what you need to do is figure out a way to pay yourself first 10% of that money. So cut out Starbucks, cut out buying cigarettes, cut out, maybe this extra trip out to McDonald's or whatever it is you might do. So what you want to do is cut back so that you can save 10%. Now, 10% of $2,000 is $200. You want to save $200 every single month and put it away and don't touch it to spend it on anything else other than an investment property. So the longer you save every single month, you save 10%. The next month you save 10 more percent. You get a raise, you still save 10% with including, instead of $2,000, you're making $2,500. So you put away $250 a month. So every single month, you're putting away 10%. Even as your wealth grows, you're going to continue giving 10% to yourself. Now, over time, your bank account will just get bigger and bigger. And then you don't want to spend that on trinkets or anything like that. You want to buy a rental property with that, and that is going to make you even more money. Now, I know this is not fancy. A lot of people say, well, I want to hear some new scheme to get a property or to make money. Well, hey, to get wealthy, you need to actually put in the hard work. The hard work is being diligent and paying yourself first. So remember, whatever you're making right now, that's the top, gross, like not how much goes in your pocket net after taxes and Social Security, Medicare, and all that sort of stuff. Whatever is coming from your business, your job, or whatever, the top amount. So if you take home $2,000, but you make $2,500, put in $2,500. Just because they take out taxes doesn't mean you could skimp on your savings. So I'm telling you, pay yourself first. And the reason why I'm taking a little more time on pay yourself first is because this is one of the most important things that you can do to build true, actual wealth. It also changes your mindset so that instead of being where you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're being proactive and thinking, I'm living for my future, where I'm sacrificing a little bit now so that in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, I can live the dream life. Step number 2 is to increase your income. Now, first one was saving 10%, paying yourself first. This one is now increase your income. Now, that could be where you increase your income by getting a raise. Obviously, that's increasing your income. But what about starting a business or getting a second job or figuring out a way to make money driving for Uber or Lyft or something like that? Getting out of your shell of saying, I just work one job and this is all I do. Maybe you need to sacrifice a little more of your time, your effort, your energy to get another job or do something else to make more money, because in the long run, it's actually going to pay off so much more because you have more money to invest. Now, what's sad is, again, we are taught to be poor. We're taught to be employees. We're not taught to have the ability to fend for ourselves and make our own money and be financially independent. Now, what we want to do is, with increasing your income, is educate ourselves. When we were young, we went to school to learn different subjects, but now that we're older, we can choose which subjects we want to learn. The poor, they really don't educate themselves or continue to educate themselves, but rather they just work one job day in and day out in the same place for their entire life. self-education and continuing your own education, those are the keys to success in life and wealth in your future. So by educating yourself with different ways to increase your income, you're going to be that much further ahead than everybody else. Now, as you educate yourself more, you become more wiser, you become more skillful, you're able to reach higher heights and go beyond your natural limit because you've extended yourself past than you normally would. Now, when you start to increase your abilities, you should put them to good work, to good use. Do this by applying your skills in ways that help you make more money, earn more money. All that more money that you're going to be making will be put to an investment property in the future. Now, there is something that you need to watch out for as you start to increase your income and your earning potential. The tempting thing to do is to really start to increase your standard of living as your income rises. The mentality of a poor person is to immediately spend any money they receive and they get a raise from their boss. They let me just go buy something new. They buy a new car, a bigger house, bigger luxury items. These are the desires that they have, but not like us. We don't do that. We keep our standard of living so that the money that we make can grow even bigger so that we can buy more properties. And in the future, when we are successful and employed, that's when we can buy the cars. That's when we can buy the bigger houses and all the luxuries. It's sacrificing now so we can live the crazy, great, rich life in the future. Don't think like the poor people. You want to think like rich and have their mentality to use that increase in your income to purchase more investments, more things that make you more money. And what is terrific is I save my money from my properties and then I buy another property that makes me more money. And I save that money. Then I buy another property that makes me more money, and I save that money. Then I buy another property and I save that money, and then I make more money. So over and over again, if you keep implementing this by buying property after property, you are going to become successful. Now, here's a quick tip I wanted to give you. Now, to help get you out of the rut of, hey, my income's going up, let me think about buying something new. Hey, I want a new car or something like that. If you are thinking about going and buying a car, let's say you wanted to buy a $35,000 car, a $45,000 car, a $55,000 car. One way to do it would be to possibly pay cash or get a loan. Two different ways to do it. Now, let me show you what I do. I would say, right now, I have cash to go out and buy a $35,000 car, but I don't. What I do is I think, okay, what would the rich do? Let me think of a rich way to actually use this money to make me more money and get me the car at the same time. So instead of using my money, my cash, to buy the car, what I do is I use that cash to buy a property. That property brings in $300, $400, $500 a month in passive income. And then that property buys the car for me because I get a loan on the new car that I want. That loan is paid off by the tenants, that passive income. And so over, what is it, 5 years that a normal auto loan is? After 5 years, I have the car paid off by my tenants and I still have the property that I bought with my original money. So you want to be thinking of new ways to get the things that you want, but having other people pay for it. So that's a tip I wanted to give you guys. So again, remember, if you were to do this, your tenants pay off this new car that you got, and you still have the property that's making you money. And if you listen to my past episode where I talk about the 6 ways that rental properties make you money, you're making more money than you could ever dream of. It's absolutely fantastic. So be thinking like the rich do. All right, that brings us to step number 3, or principle number 3 is to control your expenses. Now, the third principle of the rich is to control your expenses because the principle teaches us to live below our means and not overspend. If you're going into debt every single month, you're paying interest and you're digging a hole that you're going to have to eventually climb out of, and it's so much harder. So I have students that have no debt and I have students that have a lot of debt. And I tell you that it's so much more work for the students that have a lot of debt than the ones that don't have debt. So if you can forego, eating out for dinner every, other night or even once a week or once a month, you need to cut your expenses and dial it back so that you're not spending more money than you take in on top of, remember, the first principle, the first step is to pay yourself first 10%. So the key of this is with the first principle of paying your 10%, you don't want to spend more than 90% of your earnings every single month. The only real way to do this is to list out exactly what your expenses are every single month and then cut your expenses it down in order to get 90% of your income, and that's how much you're actually spending. Instead of spending 110% or 120%, you're only spending 90% of your income. Now, in order to have more money in your pocket that you can save for investing, you either need to increase your income, like step number 2, or decrease expenses. Cut your expenses. You can do without for 2, 3, 4 years, maybe 5 years. I went without for like 7 or 8 years. And then when I was about to quit my job, I had plenty of money. I could then do whatever I want and live however I want. Step number 4, principle number 4, buy the home you live in. Now, this principle is about buying your home and not renting it. You're going to be saving so much money. And over time, I know if you get a mortgage, a 30-year mortgage, if you can try to get a 15-year or a 20-year that can get paid off sooner, I would strongly suggest buying the home you live in and working towards where you don't have a mortgage payment, because it is so amazing to never need to pay a mortgage again on your own personal residence. Now, I get plenty of mortgages for my rental properties, don't get me wrong, but those are my rental properties that my tenants pay for. Where I live, I don't want to have to pay for my mortgage or to live there. So I pay off, or basically don't have a mortgage on my property that I live in. So it's fantastic. All right. Step number 5, principle number 5 is insure a future income. You want to insure it, like basically getting insurance over your business, over your properties, over yourself. You want to get insurance that insures your properties. Now, homeowners insurance, liability insurance, umbrella insurance, I would strongly recommend umbrella insurance on top of that, it's not that expensive. Obviously, it is an expense, but imagine if you had a home that's worth $200,000. Well, it's making you money, but if it burns down and you don't have insurance to pay for it, to build it back up or buy a new house, then you're literally out. So with the beauty of capitalism and the free markets that we have insurance where we can insure a property so that if anything bad did happen, we have the ability for insurance to pay us back or, fix it up or whatever it might be. So if you have a family at all, personal life insurance is also very, very good. I would suggest that you get life insurance on yourself, even if you're not married. Just get it on yourself so that, basically with life insurance, as you get older, it's going to cost more and more. So, if you buy it when you're 25 years old, it's maybe going to cost you, $30 a month for a good amount of insurance. But if you buy it when you're 35, it's going to cost you, $80 to $90 a month. So it's going to just keep going up. So I would strongly suggest getting life insurance. Now, I'm not a life insurance guru or anything like that. I just know I insure myself as well as I insure my business. Step number 6, principle number 6 is make your money work for you. And this is what we talk about in Master Passive Income Podcast all the time, is these principles. And this main one is buying a rental property, buying real estate that your money works for you. Now, if you buy a regular home that you live in, your money is not making you money. Like, you're not getting a tenant in there because you're living in there and you're not making monthly rent. If you buy a car and you drive that car and you don't rent it out, well, that's not making you money. If you buy a painting and you think, hey, I'm going to invest in a painting, well, that might be well and good. Hopefully it'll appreciate, but it's not making you money. You want to put your money in places that's going to make you money. And real estate rental properties is by far and above the best way to make money. Principle number 7. We're moving on to step number 7. Principle number 7 is guard yourself from losing money. What we do as real estate investors, as rich people, we guard ourselves from losing money. And the way we do it, and this is the key, and I'm not going to say it's impossible to lose money investing in real estate, but it's highly improbable, or it's very hard to lose money if you do it right. Here's the key to guard yourself from losing money. It's passive income, monthly cash flow that goes in your pocket. Don't invest for appreciation. Don't buy a property thinking, I'm going to flip the property. Don't think, well, I'm going to get good tax benefits. No, we solely invest for monthly cash flow. That's how we live and not have a job and not need a job. All those other things are great. They come with the business of investing in real estate. What we invest for and we guard ourselves from losing money is because we invest for passive income. Like if you buy a single family home, purchase price is $100,000, down payment $20,000, which is 20%, sorry. Your closing costs $2,500. Anyways, I go through a long list. If you have a normal 1-year return, if you put $20,000 down, that's going to be 22% return on your money because you have cash coming in from monthly rents. You can see how just in 1 year you can make a 22% return on your $20,000 if you bought a property and you bought it right. Now imagine in a stock market getting 22% on a stock. You're never going to get that. I mean, I'm going to easily say you're never going to get that unless you're Warren Buffett or something like that. In 1 year, getting 22% is crazy. You'd be lucky if you get that. So this is just one way, and that's just with your passive income. Okay, moving on. That was principle number 7. Guard yourself from losing money, and that is by buying properties for passive income. Now, your next and last principle number 8, or step number 8 for you to become wealthy and rich. I think this step is one of the most important steps outside of all the other ones. Now, all the other ones are fantastic, but if you just start with this one step, it will help everything. Now, this is it. And somebody might be thinking, oh man, that's not glamorous. That's not, crazy. That's actually, bad. Well, I'm going to tell you that this is the best one. I have gotten wealthy and rich because of this. Principle number 8, it's better to give than receive. I found the more that I give to other people of my time, of my knowledge, of my money, the more I get in return. The reason why I'm trying to be more, serious about this, because this is really serious. A lot of people think, I'm not going to give my money. I need that money to invest. Well, what's funny is, you didn't have that money, but now you do, and now you think you got to keep it. Well, in my opinion, because I believe in God, I believe everything belongs to God, and I am only blessed to be a good steward, or hopefully a good steward. A steward is somebody that stewards something, that manages something that they don't own. Like all the things I have, all my properties, I personally believe I was blessed by God to help me to acquire them, and I'm being a good steward of His possessions, and He is the one helping me to manage them well, but at the same time, He's the one that takes care of my properties too. If something bad goes happen, hey, I don't own it, God owns it. And so the reason why I'm trying to help you to understand it's better to give than receive, because the more I give of, like I said, my time, my money, my knowledge, my everything, the more I get in return. So the money that we're given from God belongs to God. And again, we're just stewards of it. Now, remember that 10% principle? From the first lesson, I personally believe I want to give 10% to myself, but I also give 10% to God. Now, I know that's going to sound rough. 20% off of all your money is taken out, one to pay you and one to pay God, or, give back to God. That might be rough, but it's a slow way to work into it. It would be maybe start with 2%, 1% to you, 1% to God, then cut back a little more, 2% to you, 2% to God. It could be as easy as, or as little as doing something like that and starting over time of giving 1%. And then raising up to 2%, then raising up to 4% or 5%, eventually getting up to 10% to you and 10% to God. Over time, you're going to realize, I don't even notice that money coming out. I have my expenses the way they are. I'm not overextending myself and I'm not going into debt. So it's not that bad. Now I see my income growing up, and the more I give to God, the more God gives back to me. Now, you may be somebody that doesn't believe in God, which totally fine. I'm not here to pressure you into believing in God, but I found that people that don't believe in God, that also they might say it's karma, which I don't believe it's karma, but they might say it's karma that, whatever amount of positive pressure you put on the world, in a good way, you get that amount of good positive pressure back to yourself, or, karma, whatever, is good that you put out comes back to you. Very, very similar thing, because, I believe God created everything. God created all the laws of nature, and that's what happens. The more you give, the more you will receive. And honestly, as I've implemented this into my life, where, from the very beginning, when I didn't have anything, I was giving 10% of my money to God. I saw where I didn't need anything. I thought, man, this is going to be hard to give 10% this month. I still gave, and I was still blessed. I had enough money to cover for everything. Even if you might be thinking, hey, 10% giving away to somebody else, or giving to church, or giving to social, groups, or, giving to the homeless, or whatever it might be, just giving away 10%. Trust me, and I'm being very, very serious on this. By giving 10% or giving away money, number one, you will feel better. You will feel like, man, I'm helping other people. And this is why I do this podcast. This is why I have my books. This is why I have Like, I don't make much money on really the books. I make like 5 cents on the books. It's not about that. It's about helping other people. On my podcast, I don't make any money on my podcast. Obviously, it's free. You're getting it for free. I don't make money. I want to help other people. I find the more I give, the more I get in return. Even if it's not money, I just feel so much better the more students that I have that I'm helping. Like one student just recently, I was emailing him and said, "Hey, you know what? Send me. Like I'm not. You're not going to pay. I'm not going to ask you to pay for coaching right now, but send me a couple properties that you're looking at. I'll analyze them with you and show you and tell you what I think. I'll just help you out. I'm not asking for money. I just want to help out. And so, the more you give, the more you get back. So it's better to give than receive. Okay, so let me quickly go through all 8 steps one more time. So number 1 is pay yourself first. Remember, 10% off the top is going in your pocket to save for investing in rental properties. Number 2, increase your income. Go drive for Uber, on the weekends, or, do something like that where you make more money, that you could save more money. Number 3, control your expenses. Make sure that you lower the expenses so that you can save 10% of your money. And obviously we know about step number 8, where you can have 10% you can give to God. Number 4, or give to God or give to whoever you want, or basically give it away. Principle number 4, buy the home you live in. Make sure that you are not renting the property. You are owning the property. So buy the home you live in. Principle number 5, insure your future income. So make sure you put insurance on your property, put insurance on yourself, put umbrella insurance over everything, insure everything. Number 6, make your money work for you. Put your money in things that do not just suck money away, like a boat or a new car or something like that. Buy properties that make you money. Principle number 7, guard yourself from losing money. Guard yourself from losing money, and this is how you do it. You buy for passive income, monthly cash flow that goes in your pocket every single month, not coming out. So guard yourself from losing money by buying for cash flow. Principle number 8, it's better to give than receive. You want to give money so that you are blessed in return. And that is it for today. Go ahead and get my free real estate investing course. Text the word rental to 33777, RENTAL to 33777. You can also join my Real Estate Wealth Builders group coaching. Get all my courses. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next show. See ya.